Okay, Nolensville, Tennessee and Mount Juliet, Tennessee, two really great suburbs of Nashville, two really great places to land if you're thinking about moving to the Nashville area. There are pros and cons to both, and they both have their very own distinct vibe. So we're going to talk about some of those similarities and differences today and help you try to narrow it down if you're thinking about moving to the Nashville area and you've been considering Mount Juliet or Nolensville. I do get a lot of calls from people who are considering one or the other. Hopefully this video will help you narrow that down a little bit. We'll give you a little bit of a look into the different towns themselves. We're going to talk about location. We're going to talk about size. We're going to talk about the schools, the shopping, activities, home prices, really everything. We're going to try to touch on as much as we can on these two cities to help you get a better look at each one. So if this is your first time visiting my channel, my name is Jennifer Gramling. I'm a real estate agent here in Nashville and the surrounding areas. I just put out content trying to get you more familiar with Nashville. If you're thinking about moving here or relocating, this is going to be a great channel for you. We do city tours, neighborhood tours, take a look inside different homes, what you can buy, talk about lifestyle, all the different things on this channel. So if that's interesting to you, be sure to subscribe and of course hit the notification bell so you can be the first to see these videos as they're coming out. And like I said, I am an agent in the area. So if you have questions at all about moving here or relocating, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find all my contact information in the description. You can call, text, email, however you want to get in touch with me. We'd be glad to get any and all of your relocating questions answered. There's also a Calendly link. If you want to book a time to talk directly with me, you can do that as well. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at these two different cities and see if we can figure out which one is best for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the size and location of both of these different cities. And we're also going to talk about the schools. So there is something really important to note with both of these cities when it comes to schools. And we're going to get to that in just a second. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and take a look at these on the map and talk about the size of these towns as well. Okay, so according to World Population Review, the population of Mount Juliet is almost 43,000. It's as of 2023. It's going to be located in Wilson County and it's going to be almost 25 square miles. So that just gives you a sense of how large it is. Okay, so compare that 43,000 to Nolensville population. Looks like it's climbed to 18,000, almost 19,000. So growing really rapidly, as well as Mount Juliet. But as you can see, population wise, it's going to be about half the size. Mount Juliet was at 43,000-ish, Nolensville 18,000. So less than half the size. So if you're looking for a smaller town, that's going to be Nolensville. And the land area here in Nolensville is going to be 10 square miles. So again, much smaller. You can see the growth curve here, how quickly it's been growing. This is the projected growth as you go up through 2029. So continuing to grow and jumping back over here to Mount Juliet. Again, projected growth just continuing to rise as Tennessee becomes more popular and some of these really great suburbs continue to grow. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these on the map now and see where they're located and talk about those schools as well. Okay, so starting out with Mount Juliet, you can see it's going to be located right here off 40 on the east side of Nashville, and it's going to be located right in between these two lakes. That's one of the things that makes Mount Juliet so great is that you're located really close to both Old Hickory Lake, which is going to be located right here, and Percy Priest Lake down here. I have covered this in some other videos, so if you've already heard me talk about it, you can live on Old Hickory, and parts of Mount Juliet do touch the lake right here, so you can live on the lake directly in Mount Juliet with a dock, all of the things. If that's something that's appealing to you, if that's something that you want to do, you can live directly on the lake on Old Hickory. Now down here on the south side, you've got Percy Priest Lake, which is another great lake. You cannot live directly lakefront on Percy Priest, but you are very close to it. So you can do all the water sports here. You can water ski, fish. There are smaller lakes for canoeing, kayaking, paddle boarding if you don't want to get out on the busier lake with all of those things. So you can take advantage of both of those lakes. Are going to be located right here. You're also only going to be about 15 to 20 minutes from the airport, which is located right here. So if you're commuting a lot, if you need to get to the airport a lot, this is going to be a great location to be, really close to the airport, 15 to 20, 25 minutes, depending on where you are. Obviously, if you're further up here on the lake, it's going to take you longer to get down here to the airport. And then depending on traffic, which can get kind of gnarly on this I-40, you're going to be about 20 to 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Again, if you're up in these further parts, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but generally a really easy commute up 40 to get into Nashville if you need to commute there. And continuing to touch on location, Mount Juliet is going to be located located for the most part in Wilson County. So Wilson County is going to be kind of on this side and over this direction as you go further east. Now here, there is going to be a portion of Mount Juliet that's going to be in Davidson County over here in closer to Nashville. So some of the neighborhoods that you will see as you're looking at homes in Mount Juliet, you'll want to pay attention to the county. So if you want to be in a particular county for a particular reason, you're going to want to pay attention to that. If you're in Davidson County or you're in Wilson County, that's going to determine the school system that you're in, is also going to determine your property tax and a lot of other things. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. So some people might buy a Mount Juliet thinking everything is one particular county, and it's not necessarily that way. Like I said, majority is Wilson County, but there are parts that are in Davidson County. So depending on what you're looking for, just pay attention. Okay, and on that note, let's jump down to Nolensville and show you where that is. Okay, now Nolensville is going to be located right down here off this 3141A, and this is going to be located in Williamson County. So all of the city limits of Nolensville are going to be in Williamson County, but there are some portions like Mount Juliet that on this north side are going to touch Davidson County, and then on the east side, there's a small portion that will go into Rutherford County. Now, a majority of this all over here is all going to be Williamson County. Again, if you have a reason to want to be in one county or another, you're just going to want to pay attention as you're looking at houses, as you're looking at neighborhoods, which county that's in. I have read posts on some of the Facebook pages around here where people said they moved here expecting to be in one high school, not realizing that they actually bought in a different county than they thought they were going to be in. So again, taxes are different, schools are different, a lot of different things are different. So if you want to be in one or the other, just make sure you pay attention. Okay, and so back to more about the location. So over here in Nolensville, you're going to be really close to Franklin. So it's going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes to get over into Franklin, also 10 to 15 minutes to get up into Brentwood, and it's going to take you about 25 to 30 minutes to get up into Nashville. So we're going to cover the things that are in Mount Juliet and Nolensville. We're going to talk about the shopping and all of those things here in just a little bit. We're going to touch on all of that. But if you wanted to go and explore some of these other areas, they're really close to you as well. You have a lot of great things in Nolensville itself, but really close to a lot of these other cities. If you're working in them, really easy to get to. And then getting up to the airport, it's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes depending on traffic. It seems like 24 would be the logical way to go, but sometimes going around on 65 is the quicker way. This 24 can get pretty jammed up, so going up I-65 sometimes is a better way to go, depending on the time of day, weather, all of those things. But just keep that in mind. Even jumping over here and going all the way around on 65 to get to the airport will still get you there in about 30 minutes. So really easy commute to get to the airport. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the shopping and amenities in both Mount Juliet and Nolensville. You're going to notice that there's some very distinct differences, so you'll want to pay attention, especially when it comes to the shopping and amenities and those sorts of things. There's definitely two different vibes. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about the prices of housing in both of these towns, but let's go ahead and talk first about the shopping and what's going to be available to you in each place. So if I just jump really quickly over here to the map one more time, Mount Juliet, if you remember, was over here on the east side. This is going to be Providence Marketplace. So scattered throughout Mount Juliet, you're going to have a lot of different places where you can shop, different grocery stores and things like that. But the big hub of your shopping is going to be right here in Providence. And the great thing about it is that it's really centrally located right off I-40. Let's go ahead and take you through Providence so that you can see for yourself. Now with Providence, you are going to have a plethora of options for every single thing that you need. If you want to go shopping, if you want to go out to eat, there's literally tons of things in this area. So they're not only going to have your larger stores like your Target here, your Dick's Sporting Goods, JCPenney, Old Navy, American Eagle, Ross, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, which who doesn't love Home Goods? You've got a movie theater here, Kroger, Belk, and then you're going to have a lot of smaller stores. You've got jewelry stores. You have places to go get food. You've got Crumble Cookies, Chick-fil-A, Haagen-Dazs if you're absolutely dying for ice cream, Panera Bread, Red Lobster, Red Robin, Starbucks, Taco Bell, literally everything. And then you've got shops like Joann's and Books A Million, Staples. You've got pet stores. So really everything. And like I said, there's a movie theater here too, and a lot of smaller boutiques as well. But it's not just all about the shopping here. There's also events that are held here too. Like for instance, coming up into October, they will have the Providence Pumpkin Bash here, where they'll have music, games, face painting, pumpkin patch. So a lot of fun activities here during the holidays. And that's just all within this central square, but there's also a lot of things that spider off of this, and you've got hotels, places to stay, other restaurants, other activities, all in and throughout this Providence area and right here off I-40. So located really conveniently and easy to get to. So one of the questions that people ask a lot is if there's a Trader Joe's, if there's a Costco, Sam's Club, Target, all of those things. So you do have your Target out here. You're not going to have a Sam's Club Club or a Costco out here, you're gonna have to travel into Nashville for the Sam's Club, and you're gonna have to go to Franklin or Murfreesboro if you want the Costco. Trader Joe's, you're gonna have to go into Nashville as well. But you do have some great Kroger's and Publix out here, which do have a lot of really great fresh, healthy options. If you don't feel like going all the way into Trader Joe's or Sprouts or somewhere a little bit closer into Nashville, you can really find some good healthy options out here in Kroger and Publix as well. But you will have a lot of those big box stores, a lot of the stores that you need on a regular basis, you're gonna have right here at your disposal in the Providence Marketplace. So if being close to your shopping, home goods, all of those things, TJ Maxx and Target is really important to you, then this might be a really great location for you in Mount Juliet. But let's go ahead and take a look at Nolensville and see how that compares. Okay, so I think you're gonna find that Nolensville is very, very different from Mount Juliet in that it's much, much smaller. The options for shopping and those sorts of things are a lot different. So you're not gonna have a lot of the big box stores here. If you've seen any of my videos on Nolensville, you've definitely heard me say that. You have a lot more local things here. So if you're wanting those big box stores, you can go to Franklin or Brentwood to get those things. It's only about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get there, depending on what part of town you're in. But what you've got is a cute little historic downtown with some local options, and you still have some good options for really healthy eating and things like that. So let's go ahead. I'll drive you through and let you see some of Nolensville so that you can see the difference. You will see the difference in the size of the town and just the overall vibe. Okay, so as I showed you before, Nolensville is located right here. So right here in the center of town is 31A or Nolensville Road. And this is gonna be where a majority of the things that you're gonna want are gonna be located. So that's what we're gonna show you right now. So not only are you gonna have restaurants, a little local grocery, and some other things, places to eat, places to hang out. You're also gonna have Nolensville Park here, which is where they play baseball. So not only are you gonna have restaurants and places to eat, shop, and those sorts of things, you're also gonna have places like your baseball fields down here. You've got your Williamson County Rec Center that's down here. So if you need a place to work out, they've got workout facilities, an outdoor pool that you can take advantage of, workout classes, even dance classes for children, a lot of different things going on in that rec center. You've got a park, a playground, a dog park down here, and you're gonna actually have lots of places to eat. So they're actually putting on one of the main corners down here on Nolensville Road, they're putting in a Publix and a Kroger, which we didn't previously have in Nolensville. You had to actually go about 7 minutes north up to Brentwood to get to those grocery stores. Or if you're on the west side of Nolensville, you can easily go to Franklin to do your grocery shopping. But they are putting a Kroger and a Publix. They have cleared the land for one of them. I can't remember which one it is. But so you will have those right here in town very soon. But you've also got a little organic grocery store called Oh My Chives. So they not only have local organic produce and things like that, but they also have great sandwiches. They have a phenomenal coffee shop with the Cornell brothers. They have Locals, which is a juice bar. You have great little places like Itty Bitty Donuts, who also have phenomenal coffee and the best little donuts you've ever had. And then you have phenomenal places to eat like Cabo's Mexican. You've got Martin's Barbecue, which Southern Living named some of the best barbecue in the state of Tennessee, and I can attest to that. It's really, really good. You've got the historic area with the Nolensville Feed Mill. You've got an Amish furniture builder. You've got a couple of different clothing and home goods stores down here, all just local to the area. Also, your farmer's market happens down here. So every Saturday, while the weather's nice, you can come down here for your farmer's market, get more fresh produce, meats, and those sorts of things. Nolensville just got a Vietnamese kitchen, which a lot of people are really loving right now. What was once previously the Pork Belly Farmhouse in this really cool location is now becoming Mojo's Tacos, which is a really, really great place that people love in Franklin. So they're adding a location over here in Nolensville. It's another local place that's really, really good. And then on the north side of town, you're gonna have even more places to eat. But you've also got great places like the Mill Creek Brewery, where they brew some amazing beer. You've got Wheeler's Raid Distillery, which is absolutely phenomenal, and they do have live music there. A lot of great acts actually come through there. They've got trivia night at Mill Creek Brewery. So there's actually a lot of things going on for a really small town. Now here in Nolensville, you're not going to have hotels and all of those things in this area. Like I said, you're not gonna have all the big box stores. You're gonna have a lot of smaller local establishments in this area. But again, it's 15 to 20 minutes to get over into Franklin. If you wanna go to the west side, if you wanna go over to the east side, it's easy to get into Smyrna if you wanna run over there for their Target. But Trader Joe's, 15 to 20 minutes. Costco, 15 to 20 minutes. And where I moved from previously, it took me at least 10 minutes just to get out of my neighborhood. So it's really not that far of a drive, really easy to get over if you need those things, but you don't have all the congestion of that in your own little small town. Now, if those are are things that you really want to have. If you want to have that target that's 5 minutes away and you're thinking about Williamson County, then you might be better off going up towards Brentwood or Franklin. But if you want to be a little bit further removed, but still close to everything and just have that smaller, quaint downtown feel, then Nolensville might be the way to go. Okay, and last but not least, let's go ahead and talk about the home prices in both of these areas. Okay, and probably the easiest thing to do is just to jump onto the MLS to show you the median home prices and what they're selling for in these different areas. So I added on here both Nolensville, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, just so that you could see. So as you can see, Nolensville at $750,000 median home price, Mount Juliet is at $550,000, and Nashville's at $505,000. So Nolensville about $200,000 more for your median home price, with your average home price being $820,000, with Mount Juliet being $575,000. And Nashville being $697,000. So just jumping back over here again, just so that you can kind of compare. Nolensville does come in at quite a bit higher. It is located in Williamson County, which is one of the most expensive counties in the state. So just something to keep in mind. But just looking at these prices gives you a little bit of an idea of what you'll be paying to be in these different cities. Now, there is truly so much to love about living in both of these cities, a lot to appreciate about both. Probably too much to cover in just one video. But if I missed something and you have any other questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, you can find all my contact information in the description. I'd be glad to answer any and all of your questions about these cities or any other. We have a lot more great videos coming up, so be sure to stay tuned. Drop it in the comments if you have questions that I didn't get answered. Try to answer those in the comments. Again, make sure to like this, subscribe, hit me up with any questions. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video.